Welcome to the Apocalypse Show. Hey, what's up, guys? This is another edition of my shows. My shows are the best ever. No, they're actually terrible. In fact, if you want to save yourself some time, just don't even listen to the show. It's just that bad. Anyway, today's topic is going to be about the subject of, as the title might say, white knighting. Now, you might ask yourself, what are you talking about, white knighting? Are we talking about medieval Europe, or what are you saying? No, no, no. Don't think like that. If you ever need a definition, you always go to Urban Dictionary. So go to Urban Dictionary, type in white knight, and as I've already done, I'll pull up a definition. One of them is a white knight is defined as a male that treats women as goddesses and does nothing but shower them in compliments on how wonderful and beautiful and special they are. May be used as a noun or verb. Yep. Yep, you see it everywhere on the internet. You see it mostly on message boards, but you see it a little bit on these radio shows, a little bit. And, well, they live on the internet code of chivalry. And, usually the women that they do this for, they aren't too hot themselves. I mean, yeah, they're usually pretty hot. That's why the guy's doing this, but the women are needy or damaged, and the guy always thinks it's up to them to rescue them from basically herself. So what you're actually doing is you're going out of your way to save a woman from the consequences of her own actions, and you sitting there as a like meat shield, I guess, in front of her isn't going to help her. Things get worse because she knows she has you to be there for her. And usually, white knighting is associated with a beta male, and beta male, as you know, is a really wimpy man. So it's a very embarrassing thing to witness. I'm sure we've all seen it at one point. And they also take up the role as a passive and protective and nurturing figure. And the worst part is they're deluded into all this. That the woman's nothing but pure and good hearted. Like they like her so much and they want her to like them back so much that they become deluded themselves into thinking, it's everyone else. And obviously, this is a tool that people use to seduce women. And men of all ages have a secret or public desire to be valued or honored in some fashion. And so that's why they go to a great length to achieve something like this. And usually you do see it mostly within the confines of like virgins or people with like very little experience with women overall. Men that have experience with women are usually the opposite of white knighting. So one of the things also is that a reason that some men do this is because they don't really have a good image of themselves. Like their own self-worth is very, very low, at least in their mind. So they think to themselves, well, you know what? I'm not worth much. So how do I get in her pants, or how do I seduce her? And then they think, okay, white knighting it is. So the problem is, after all this, even if they don't end up as the victim of a con or a thief, that the white knights are especially vulnerable to emotional, abusive relationships. So this is a trigger for other bad things in store for you. And also, the initial thrill actually wears off, and it leaves them stuck in a relationship with an emotional vampire because, it's not gonna work. And that emotional vampire you're stuck with, they'll drain the life out of you. And the reason why is because you're sitting there struggling to meet her demands when you are unable to fulfill your own needs, or taking care of your own business, because this all comes at a cost. Okay. And so, as being a nice guy, this white knight stuff is ultimately the case of low self-esteem. The white knight's need for external validation and his discomfort in dealing with women as individuals is what basically leads him towards this unhealthy behavior. He essentially needs to learn to accept that his worth doesn't need to be proven by rescuing a female in distress. Because everyone senses that weakness. Everyone cringes. and not everyone's going to be stupid and think otherwise. So, here's the pro tip. Don't white knight, because guess what? It never works.